Hello and welcome to the first ever virtual TT powered by Motul. Yeah, you heard me right, virtual TT. We are going to see some racing action in 2020, albeit in the virtual world. Thanks to the launch of the new TT Isle of Man 2 Ride on the Edge game, the race organisers thought it was the perfect opportunity and the perfect platform to host the first virtual TT. So we've invited 8 TT riders and teamed them up alongside 8 gamers to create, well, 8 teams of 2 riders who will compete over 1 lap each of the TT course. Once the riders have completed their laps, the times will be added together for both rider and gamer, and the team will be given an aggregated time. Now, whoever's at the top of the leaderboard, come the end of the 8 competitors taken to the course, they'll be crowned virtual TT winners for 2020. And if you need reminding just how fast-paced and exhilarating the TT is, feast your eyes on this.
And there's our man, Peter Hickman, looking very comfortable.
So without further ado, it's time to meet the first team awaiting that tap on the shoulder to head down Bray Hill. And the team captain for Team 1 is no stranger to the TT. Making his TT debut in 2013, he's the fastest rider to ever lap the TT course on a Yamaha. His first victory came last year in the Classic Junior TT.
It's Jamie Coward! Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy!
It is, of course, Jamie Coward.
We see Jamie Coward there heading through Milltown.
Now here is Jamie Coward, a man to keep an eye on.
Jamie Coward. I noticed on that VT there that you've got the word relax over your clocks. Is that something that you need to remind yourself to do while you're racing around the TT course?
Yeah, it is actually. It's one of them things that if you're a bit tense and a bit worked up about the whole job, then it's just a nice thing to see and just helps you calm down and, like I said, just relax.
Have you got it on your control pad ready for the lap around the TT course?
Yeah, I have actually. Yeah, no, I haven't really. No. It's I don't need it on there.
So, Jamie, obviously, very difficult times for everybody across the world. How gutted are you about not actually attending the TT this year?
Yeah, I think everyone that rides the TT and everyone that obviously looks forward to that event, you've got to look at the bigger picture and everyone's safety, So, yeah, it's a shame, but end of the day, it's just one of them things.
So, how have you been getting on with the game?
Obviously, on it all the time, so I've got kids and family and stuff, but when I can get on, I just go on there, and then, like I said, it just keeps you. It's very realistic, really, to the course and the corners and stuff, and it just keeps your mind sharp and just keeps you up to speed, really, with stuff. Obviously, with everything we're going through, it's just nice to get some sort of laps in, shall we say.
Jamie, let's meet your teammate. It's avid gamer Kenny Lamb. Kenny, thank you for joining us. Now, how many hours have you clocked up around the TT course in the virtual world?
I think I can count the hours I've clocked on it, probably under 10. So it's a super steep learning curve. I went from not being able to get through section 1 without crashing to only crashing a handful of times.
So yeah, what do you think of that video when you see Jamie doing what he does for a living? I mean, I've been there, I've seen it, and it still blows me away.
My mind is actually blown. Even from playing the game, I have no idea how you guys react so quickly.
So, Jamie, before we get into Kenny's lap, have you got any last-minute tips for him that he needs to focus on before he heads down Bray Hill?
Keep it rubber side down and just keep it singing.
Kenny, before we head over to your lap, what bike did you choose? Obviously, you've got free reign, and you've got free reign over setup, bike selection, and rider selection. What bike did you go for?
I chose the pretty blue one, not just because it's blue, but it's got it was a little bit lighter than the other bike, so it was easier to turn. That's what I found anyways. And for the rider, I just chose the one by default.
Which should be Ian Locker, because he's one of the only few people that can handle a two-stroke around there. Jamie, did you select yourself?
Obviously, yeah, of course I did. There's only one man for a job.
All right, now it's time for the action. We're going to hand you over now to Dave Moore. First up is Kenny.
We are virtually, quite literally, making TT history today. First bike away is Kenny Lamb as he tucks in behind the bubble, making his way from the grandstand towards the top of Bray Hill. This is through St Ninians. Now, how well does Kenny know this course? It's a good solid start as he drops down Bray Hill into the dip. Normally around 180 miles an hour around there, and he was certainly around that mark. So Kenny Lamb about to sit up as he breaks for Quarter Bridge, one of the slower corners on this very fast course. You have to get a good fast exit from here. Nice and neat from Kenny Lamb. This is impressive. He, of course, setting the first time the target, the marker for everyone else to hit. Slowing for Braddon Bridge. Takes it out wide. Perhaps a little bit too wide, but back on the power again. So it normally takes about a minute to get to Union Mills. He's just outside that, however. This is from a standing start. When Peter Hickman did that fantastic 135-mile-an-hour lap in 2018. Whoa! As Kenny Lamb just goes past the slower rider. But as I was saying, when Hickman was on the case in 2018 with a 135-mile-an-hour lap, he was about a minute to Union Mills, which is normally a 10-minute drive in normal traffic. You'll have seen the name Ian Locker appear on the leaderboard there. That's because Kenny is riding Ian Locker's bike for this lap. So Kenny Lamb, part of Team Coward. His teammate Jamie Coward will be on the bike later. And together, their times will be combined to give them an overall score.
So Kenny's split time heading into Glen Helen is 4 minutes and 30 seconds. And at Ballaugh, it was 8 minutes and 2. Picking the action back up as he heads into Ramsey.
Again, just listen to the bikes as we hit Milltown. 9 minutes 40, Milltown for Peter Hickman on his 1:35 lap. So Kenny certainly dropping time. So back on the brakes as he comes into Parliament Square, Ramsey.
Bendy bit.
You can easily lose the front going into that right hand. Then up to Mayhill, really bumpy on this section of the TT course, but not bad from Kenny Lamb. We're coming up to Ramsey hairpin. Ten minutes 40 is the mark that you would want. So again, he's still that minute outside of Hickman that I keep referring to. Oh, up onto the bank.
Oh, God. Never make that pin.
And that's the Isle of Man TT course. It can suck you right in. And now the glorious climb up the mountain. He has to negotiate waterworks first. I wonder if that spill's just knocked his confidence a little bit. Doesn't want to get caught out again. Oh, he's trying too hard now. Gone the other way. Maybe his confidence has gone. So 2 spills for Kenny in less than a minute. So here we are, Gooseneck, and the start of the mountain section where the road opens. The trees have disappeared generally. No more riding in tunnels, so to speak.
At least I got through the hardest bit.
So the split time at the bungalow is a very respectable 15 minutes and 20 seconds from Kenny. And at Cronknamona, 17 minutes and 41.
Oh dear, into signpost. And Kenny would have wanted to have passed him. Gets him on the brakes. Can he turn in time? He has. And another rider just up ahead now. Governor's Bridge. And the Nook to negotiate.
Oh God.
We're looking somewhere around the 18.5-minute mark, I think. Into Governor's Dip. So Kenny Lamb on the pavement. A few hundred yards to go.
Last bit, last bit.
It's going to be the first time we've seen put down, and it is 18:36.
Oh, I made it.
So there we have it. The first time is on the leaderboard. 18 minutes and 36 seconds from Kenny, with 1 or 2 crashes in there. Kenny, how do you feel your lap went?
I keep forgetting about some of the corners in there. I got the first 4 sections okay. And then from there on, it gets a bit fuzzy. And then the tricky bit with all the sharp turns, I sort of half remembered. I think I just need more hours on it.
Jamie, we're going to bring you in on this one. You saw that. I mean, what do you think?
My advice didn't go very hard at it. Don't crash very often, but he seemed to crash quite a lot. But like I said before, it's a fair play for him. I've tried that view before with the behind the bubble, and I find it impossible. But to do a lap at that sort of speed, or 18 minutes, I won't be able to do it, I don't think.
Well, how's about we find out exactly how well you went, Jamie? Let's head back now to Dave Moore, who's going to take you through Jamie's lap.
It's a flying lap start then for Jamie Coward. He's seen what his teammate can do. What can Jamie do? We know he can do on real terms. What can Jamie Coward do in the virtual TT powered by Motul? He's on his way. Top of Bray Hill. And the world just drops away down here into the bottom. 160 miles an hour there. Four minutes 30 was the time that Kenny Lamb set at Glen Helen, the first timing point, official timing point on the TT course. But it's a good start so far for Jamie Coward as he hits Braddon Bridge. And certainly that's a lot smoother and neater than his Team Coward teammate achieved on his lap. So a good start for Jamie Coward then.
Jamie's split at Glen Helen was 4 minutes and 9. That's 21 seconds faster than his teammate Kenny Lamb. We pick him back up heading onto the Cronky Straight, one of the fastest parts of the course.
And Jamie Coward really looking the business. Had a great year last year in 2019. He's a rider that's getting better and better year upon year. Here we go, max it out again. 162 miles an hour on Cronky. But it is about exit speed at the Isle of Man as well. You need good speed out of the turns onto the long straight parts. Just eases off. Oh, just eased off. Just got out of his flow slightly there for Handley's. And again, just to make sure that he stayed upright, he just had to back off on the exit. So top of Bagaro. Another popular part of the course with spectators. World drops away, and the bike really bottoms out just there. We just saw the way that the road kinked down.
The split at Balaf, 7 minutes and 14, and at Ramsey Hairpin, 10 minutes 34, well over a minute faster than Lamb.
Into the 26th milestone, and Joey's named up. Oh! Just a little graze there from Jamie, but it doesn't slow him in any way. Fast here, but he'll have to slow for Guthrie's a really tricky section just here. It's nice here, but this part here, the right-hand turner, can draw you in harder than you want to. And now onto the section where Jamie, unfortunately, may lose a little bit of speed on his rivals. This is the Mountain Mile. Here we go. Hits 162. Normally, riders would be on the hitting 190 miles an hour. More, in fact, around 195 on this bit. But Jamie's keeping it pinned.
13 minutes and 28 at the Bungalow, 15 minutes 44 at Cronknamona, almost 2 minutes quicker than his teammate Lamb.
So slowing for Signpost Corner. And it has to be said, he's kept it upright all the way. The odd moment here or there. But Jamie Coward is certainly putting down a marker for the rest of the virtual TT field to beat. Certainly carrying plenty of speed into the Nook. So through Governor's Dip. Back on to Glen Crutchery Road. And it's going to be almost 2 minutes, I think, between him and Kenny Lamb. 18:36 for Kenny Lamb. And it is 16 minutes 37 for Jamie Coward. What a lap.
Well done.
So there we go. It looks like the benchmark has been set by Jamie Coward, 16 minutes and 37 seconds. Jamie, that looked like a pretty clear lap. I could only see, what, you ran wide at one turn just after Hanley's, was it?
Yeah, I think going through Hanley's, I just run a bit wide there, lost a bit of time, and I knew a few places where I run a bit deep, but yeah, like I said, that was my fastest ever time on a 600, and yeah, we're chuffed to bits, really.
That was an amazing time. Do you think any of the riders are going to be able to compete with that? Or are we already looking at the winners of the virtual TT?
I'd like to win it. David Todd, I know he goes quite well, so I've played with him a few times online, so I know that time's fairly decent, so we'll have to just wait and see, but I think we stand a decent chance of good results, shall we say.
Kenny, Jamie might have just saved your bacon there. What have you got to say what have you got to say to him?
I am forever grateful for that. Just turning before the turn, that never happens with me. I just rely solely on the lines. You know, the red crosses that pops up. I'm like, oh, now it's time to stop. Oh, it's time to go again.
See, I guess that's where the real world experience comes in for someone like Jamie to know exactly where he is on the track and where he needs to be. All right, so the benchmark has been set with Team Coward, a combined time of 35 minutes and 13 seconds. Coming up after the break is Team Scaysbrook. Hello and welcome back to the Virtual TT powered by Motul. The first time has been set on the leaderboard, and I've got to say, the next 7 teams that have got to compete with Team Coward are going to have to go all out in an effort to take the top spot. The next team up is led by Rennie Scaysbrook. He's an Australian motorcycle journalist living in the US and works as a road test editor for Cycle News. In 2019, he won the prestigious Pikes Peak International Hill Climb, and 2020 would have been his debut year at the TT. Rennie, first question. How gutted are you not to be attending the TT this year?
Yeah, it's pretty annoying, I got to say. I suppose you can look at it one of many ways, really. I mean, it's the same for everybody. I know there's a bunch of other guys, the early ones, guys that are a lot better riders than me that are missing out on their TT debut as well. So, and, I was approaching the race as a bit of a different thing, being a journalist as well, but, obviously trying to go there and have a bit of fun and not disgrace myself too much. And but, hey, look, we're just going to have to move everything up 12 months.
So has the game helped you along the way in learning the course? Would you feel now comfortable, if you were there, that you would know which direction to go?
Yes, absolutely. Now that I've been to the Isle of Man and come back, like it's a big step up from the first game, where I would play 2 laps of the game and then watch one of the onboard laps. When I came back and started playing the second game, I was like, oh, okay, this really makes a lot of sense now. And but yeah, it's they're incredibly useful pieces of they're tools, and they're so much better than what they were even a few years ago.
So Rennie might not have the real world experience around the TT that some of our other TT riders have, but he's got a trick up his sleeve. The so-called gamer for this team is Stefy. Now, Stefy is an ex-professional motocross and supercross rider. Stefy, where are you coming to us from today?
I'm tuning in from United States, from Colorado.
Stefy, even though you're in America, there sounds like there's a little bit of an Italian twang to your accent. Come stai?
Yeah, tutto bene, grazie. Sto bene. Yes, that is correct. I'm originally from Italy. I was born in Italy and started racing in Italy, and then I came to the United States to continue my professional career about when I was 21 years old. So I do have an accent, for sure.
Wow. Do you think your motocross experience is going to help you on the TT course?
Well, I think so. I mean, as a former racer, when I picked up the game the first time, I have the instinct, what you have to do on a motorcycle, of course. The difficult part for me was to remembering the lap, because the lap on the island is so long. And, as a racer, that's what you rely on it, over and over again when you practice and when you're actually doing a real race. But the laps are usually shorter, so you get to learn them fairly quickly. This one is super long and never been there in real life. It was like hard to remember it. However, like the breaking points and how to float and the lines of where to put the motorcycle, even though it was on the video game, that part I think I had it.
It's time for Stefy's lap. So without further ado, let's hand over now to Dave Moore with all the action.
Next away, Stefy Bau, riding the Honda in the David Johnson colours, racing for Team Scaysbrook. So clock is ticking. Stefy is on her way. Just easing off. Down the bottom of Bray Hill. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Not the start she wanted. So Stefy off just at the bottom of Bray Hill, on her way again. A wake-up call though. Over-egg it too much and bang, you're off. And she needs to slow for Quarter Bridge. I think certainly what has just happened very much in her mind. Oh, it's too fast. Far too fast. And Stefy is leaving what could be an awful lot of work for her teammate, Rennie Scaysbrook, to do. Stefy just needs to calm down. Certainly the nature of the roads of the Isle of Man TT course, certainly on this opening section as well, because there are so many long, fast, straight bits, it kind of entices you to open up and get on the throttle. You see a little bit of road ahead and think, right, okay, let's get it pinged. But that's what she was doing, but now she's learned that lesson and is just backing off as she goes into Union Mills. Already about half a minute down on Jamie Coward.
One minute 58 behind Jamie Coward at Glen Helen. We pick Stefy up as she enters the tricky Kirkmichael section 15 miles into the lap.
Perhaps upon reflection, Stefy may have liked to have chosen a less powerful machine. And here we are into Rencolin. She might just fall for this one. No, she backs it off. Well done. Such a spectacular part, as is most of the TT course, but Rencolin just has that little bit something special. Into Bishop's Court. This could be another 190-mile-an-hour section. So Bluff Bridge is coming up. That will be very interesting for Stefy, because it's not fast, but you have to get it right.
Like I said, the most difficult part is not knowing how the loop goes.
We're on the approach then to Bluff Bridge. You can see it up ahead. Really backs it off. And then back on the juice.
Her split time at Bluff is 11 minutes and 6 seconds, 15 minutes 48 at the hairpin, and 20 minutes and 16 seconds at the bungalow, 5 minutes behind Coward. And we pick her up here, heading into the finish.
And just goes to show what incredible performances we've had so far from the likes of Jamie Coward and Kenny Lamb.
Turn around, turn.
Oops. It's pointing the wrong way. This is costing her time. Oh dear, oh dear. I think maybe the roundabout perhaps confused her.
It's so tight too.
So back out of Governor's Dip onto Glencrutchery Road. Stefy Bau about to complete her lap. And her time, 25 minutes and 10 seconds.
No. All right.
Stefy, I'll be honest, I lost count how many times you crashed there.
For me, the difficult part was not remembering the lap. As a former racer, I just like to go fast, of course, but not knowing if the corner is like a second gear or third gear, I just couldn't judge it very good. So I guess I have to get myself there and do the loop in real life, and then I will be better on the game.
Rennie, what do you think about that?
Painful. Certainly hurt. Well, I mean, considering that she was playing as Davo Johnson, who's one of my best friends, I was like, oh, Davo, that hurt, mate. Sorry.
Back to the action now as we find out how Rennie got on with his lap.
Rennie Scaysbrook on his way, and with his work cut out after that mammoth lap from teammate Stefy Bau. Rennie riding on David Johnson's Honda 600 Supersport bike. And this is a good start so far by the looks of things. Top of Bray Hill, down into the dip at the bottom, over Rago's Leap. And this is good. And so far, it looks like the riders are showing the gamers how to tackle the Isle of Man TT course. Now, can he slow in time for Quarterbridge and get it turned around? Yes, he can. Back on the power as well. 4:09 at Glen Helen, the target for Rennie, set by Jamie Coward. Oh, this is a bit too fast into Bretton Bridge, I think. A little bit scruffy. Well, Kenny Lamb hit 4 minutes 30 at Glen Helen. Jamie Coward 4:09. We're about a minute or so away from finding out where Rennie Scaysbrook will slot into on the leaderboard. Fast around Ballacrane. And he has to go something, of course, because we had an almost perfect lap from Jamie Coward. The official TT lap record of 135 miles an hour completed in 16 minutes 42 seconds by Peter Hickman in 2018. Jamie Coward with 16 minutes 37 in the virtual TT powered by Motul. Out of Laurel Bank. The road rushing towards us as Rennie Scaysbrook keeps the power on. So here we go then. Certainly outside 4:09 and outside Kenny Lamb 4 minutes 30. So quite surprising really. Perhaps the point of view as we go around Sarah's cottage is making things look a little bit faster perhaps.
8 seconds down on Team Coward's Lamb at Glen Helen and 29 seconds down on Jamie Coward. Incredibly now he's tying with Kenny Lamb at Ballaugh, 8 minutes and 2 seconds, but still 29 seconds down on Coward.
This is Milltown, not far then into Ramsey, and then the start of the climb up over the mountain. Next timing point coming up at Ramsey Hairpin. 10 minutes 34 that was for Jamie Coward. So Rennie Scaysbrook, as good an effort this seems, is way down on Coward time-wise. But you have to say, he appears not to have put a foot wrong. He's just lost out, certainly in terms of top speed, to what Jamie Coward has to offer, or certainly what's on offer to Jamie Coward. Rennie Scaysbrook obviously going with what he's comfortable with on the 600. The fast approach into Ramsey Hairpin. But it's a nice and neat exit. So that worked very well. Oh no! Rennie Scaysbrook was going so well. The slightest mistake, and he's paid the price.
As Rennie passes through Cronknamona, he's 6 seconds up on Team Coward's Kenny Lamb. So it's just the blast down to the finish now as we pick up the action again with Rennie at Signpost Corner.
But this can catch you out through here. Into Signpost Corner he goes. Oh, he's looking good to slot into second place behind Jamie Coward. Oh, and he does a Hutchinson and goes up onto the curb and is off. That has cost time, and has it cost him second place? Other riders come through. And with another rider just ahead, this is costing him time. Now we know that they won't win the team award. However, can he get into second place? And a Kenny Lamb, oh, it's all gone wrong. He saves it, does he? This is costing him a lot of time. Has it lost him the 6 seconds that he had over Kenny Lamb? Out of the dip. Back on the juice. And the time, 18:36. Oh no, he's not going to do it. Kenny Lamb will stay in second place. And Rennie Scaysbrook is third fastest, 18 minutes 40.
So you set a time of 18 minutes and 40. Steffi's was 25 minutes and 10. Rennie, are you pretty happy with that time?
It should have been a lot quicker, to be honest. I mean, if I hadn't had 2 crashes, then I would have had, I reckon if those 2 crashes hadn't happened, I reckon probably 18 minutes or so. Oh, sorry, 18 minutes 20. That would have been, I would have been happy with that.
Stefy, I think I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Are you happy with your time?
Absolutely not. It is I was the 8th time that I played the game, so I'm gonna get on it. But my competitive, I'm in me. Now that I see that Rennie did 18 minutes, I'm gonna have to beat that.
So there we have it. 2 teams down, 6 to go. That was some of the most exciting racing I have seen around the Isle of Man TT course. Up next is Team Todd and Team Martinez. Be sure to join us because the action is going to be fast and it's going to be fierce. Thanks for watching.